May of 2022, so just about a little over 2 years ago is when I started. Snapchat, very cool. It's hit over 800,000 right now, actually. Hopefully hit 1 million in the next couple months.
Be the story. What if a D3 athlete from Claremont McKenna College, no national TV, no big stage, flipped the entire script? Guys, today we have a very special guest. Connor Printz didn't just do it, he dominated. He's mastered social domination, signing over 180 deals in NIL and working with some of the biggest names in the game. And today, we're going to dive into exactly how they did that. But before then, I have to introduce my co-host, Keith Miller. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Brand&Athlete, and thanks again, Jay. Always fun to hang out. And I'm excited about this guest. He's very, very interesting, and I think a lot of people are going to get a lot out of it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. And we have to build them up a little bit. First of all, this is Brand&Athlete. If you're new to us, the show where athletes and influencers and those really, really savvy in content creation share the blueprint for success in sports and content creation and beyond. I'm your host, Jay Hicks, and of course, Keith Miller with us here. And today we have a D3 athlete who's used his social media presence to become a full-time content creator. We're excited to have Connor, a content creator who's worked with top brands like Reebok, Powerade, CVS. He's traveled all over the country, met some of the biggest stars in this game. Connor Printz, welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, we're really excited. I love following your feed, right, Keith?
Yes, absolutely. He's got some funny stuff on there. It makes me laugh. I like it.
Love it. And I love making people laugh. And so I've been trying to do some funny content, and it's definitely working. So yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're going to dive into it. This show produced by Hicks Sports and Entertainment, brought to you by our friends at Influxer, the leading platform for NIL innovation, helping athletes in check this out, 400 schools maximize their potential through custom merch and brand partnership deals. We're really fortunate to have them. So we're gonna dig right into it. In today's show, anybody can build an empire through their dorm room if they have the right content strategy. In 2024, unlike maybe 4 or 5 years ago where you could post and go viral, today you need a great strategy. Connor, you're a living example of this. Can you take us through and take us back to the beginning? What was that turning point when you realized, look, man, I could do something bigger than this?
Yeah. I mean, it was, my whole life wanted to be a content creator, right? I loved YouTubers, loved different people who posted basketball content, but just really didn't have that belief in myself in the beginning, was kind of nervous that people would make fun of me. Didn't know if my videos would be successful. I knew it would take some time, so I kept pushing it off. And 2022, I really didn't play much in my sophomore basketball season. I'm like, all right, I'm really not succeeding here. What's another way that I can kind of grow my brand, grow a platform that doesn't necessarily relate to me being on the court as a basketball player?
I got to ask you this real quick, though, Connor. How long ago did you start? I mean, I know a lot of people love to talk about the arc of the story. How long ago did you first hit push in public?
May of 2022. So just about a little over 2 years ago is when I started.
Can you take us back to that first viral moment? What was that like? And, how you saw that and how that really came about?
Definitely. I mean, it took some time. Videos really in the beginning did not do too well. A couple hundred views here or there, wasn't gaining followers. Then one video hit about 10,000 views, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I got 10,000 people watch this and 1,000 plus likes, and then 20,000 views, 50,000 views. And when your first one hits 100,000 views, I mean, I'm jumping up and down in my room, and then you get that 1 million video, and it's, thinking you're a superstar. And so,
what was that like? What was it like when you had did you just go crazy?
It's crazy. I mean, I'm kind of used to it now. I still get very excited. But just, 1 million views to think of, it may not be 1 million people watching it, but a few 100,000 people, just crazy to see my video. And when my girlfriend, one of her friends was like, oh my God, her brother in London saw this video. And so just being able to see that I'm reaching worldwide people, just crazy to me. Crazy. It's still a dream come true.
I got to hit the pause button here because Jay, he's a basketball player. He's got a good vertical. I've seen it on video.
Yeah.
Now you're jumping up and down in your dorm room. Are little concerned you're going to hit the ceiling and stuff like
Maybe a little bit, yeah. I got blessed with a nice room on campus, so I was good there. Yeah.
So it was a controlled jump then, you know?
Yeah, making sure.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons why we're really excited to have you on, and Keith really loves the startup story. He and I both share that. And one of the things today, this huge opportunity for student athletes, is the first post can go viral, right? You and I have talked, and Keith and I have talked that someone can go viral on their first post or become a content creator within 2 years, like you have been, to really being a great brand. So talk to me about that, right? Because we know that there is a huge opportunity. A lot of people complain, they say, oh, I have to post. But one of the cool things about social media is it's free. And I wonder if 10 years from now, are some people going to look back at this opportunity and say, man, I should have been creating content around the things that I enjoy. Like me, I love, this talking about personal branding. I love space exploration and I love college athletics. And I talk about that. Do you think that people are going to look back in time, student athletes and other influencers, and say, man, I really wish I would have hit publish?
100%. I mean, I think that too. I wish I started back in high school or early college, because see kids now that are in high school with 500,000 followers, making tons of money, getting free shoes. And if I did that in high school, man, it'd be different to see where I'm at right now. So to any kid that's out there that wants to create content, but just keep pushing it off, just do it. I mean, if people do make fun of you, who cares? You're not going to see that person in a year or two. So just do it. It's going to change your life if you really work hard at it, put your head down, just grind. But yeah, definitely just hit that publish button and get started.
Yeah. How often, like you're going through your day here, just a normal average day. How often are you thinking about potential content, different ideas? I mean, you're talking about working hard and, but I got a feeling you're constantly thinking about it.
Yeah. Especially now that like my goal is to really be able to do this full time. Kind of taking a chance of myself right now. I'm young, I'm out of college and could go the traditional route to just get a normal job. But, this is my dream to be a content creator, work in the sports space. And so kind of think about something all day, every day, just how I can improve, how I can be more creative. And it's really like a full-time job for me right now.
Okay.
Yeah. I love it. I love what you're doing. And, I actually follow you and have for maybe almost a year. And on Instagram, I actually have your alert set up. So every time that you put any kind of content up, I get an alert. And I was like, man, this guy is just putting in work. And I know that's helping you as we kind of talk about brand partnerships, right? Those brand partnerships, which is a huge part of it, is more than just signing a contract, right? It's like having, an overlap of values and mutual growth. You've worked with some of the biggest brands out there, right? Like I saw you did a great deal with Reebok, you did a Powerade. How do you decide which partnerships align with your personal brand and your audience?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, in the beginning, I was accepting any brand that came my way. I get $20, $50. And that was super cool to me. But then I started to realize like, all right, I got to make, the right decisions, work with the right brands. So now I really kind of target it to, brands that are focused more around sports, health, wellness, lifestyle. I'm not a big drinker. I don't drink alcohol. And so had some beer brands reach out to me and, maybe good money, but just not something I promote. So say no to that. I've had like, a squatty potty, which I guess is like a toilet accessory. Maybe very useful for some people, but just not going to fit with my brand. And so
I'd be curious, like what would be the ask of you, right? Like we always know the brands want to, what was the ask there?
They just reached out the basic email, asked if I was interested at first and didn't even want to know what they wanted me to do with that. So just kind of push it to the side. But I appreciate them reaching out. But I know my target audience is 13 to 24. Those are my main followers. And so also just using brands that, that age range uses and not going to promote something that, someone 45 plus will use because I know it's not going to reach that audience.
Yeah. And I think that's part of your success, where you have over 1 million followers across all of your platforms. One of the things I absolutely love is that you have diversity. You're on Snapchat. You have 400,000 plus there. You've got Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And, one of the things that I think that when I look at your account is understanding your audience, and talk about that, because I think one of the mistakes that I see when people ask me to look at their content and they're stuck on 200 or 300 views is they're not always making content for the audience. They're making it for themselves.
Right. 100%. Yeah. Snapchat, very cool. It's hit over 800,000 right now, actually. Hopefully hit 1 million in the next couple months.
Wait, did you say 800? Because a lot of people are sleeping on Snapchat in 2024.
Yeah, I've done the research. I haven't been able to find a basketball creator that has more followers than me on Snapchat. There's some that are bigger.
Wow,
than me.
I got to stop you there. Did you guys hear that? We have on the show a basketball player, Connor Printz, with the most followers on Snapchat. We have to give a clap for that, Keith. Keith, come on, give it up. I feel like you're being stingy with the golf claps.
I'm just hooked on every word he's saying right now. Yeah.
No, it's been crazy. I mean, I spoke at Snapchat actually a few weeks ago. I was able to go to their headquarters. I spoke to like 30 different brands and agencies because we're looking to get brands on the platform. You see a lot of brand deals done on Instagram and TikTok. Nobody really looks at Snapchat because they think it's more of an app to just message your friends. But now every creator is on Snapchat. You have people making 500,000 plus a month on there. It's arguably the best app right now for creators. And so
hold on, just full stop there. Right? Full stop. I hate to interrupt you, but you just dropped a dime. So because we're talking about brand deals, one of the most things that people sleep on are actually monetizing your channels. Can you repeat that number again that you're making just off monetizing Snapchat? We're not even talking about brand deals.
Yeah. So I'm not making 500,000. I wish. But I mean, top celebrities, big influencers, they're making upwards of 500,000 a month just through ads in your Snapchat story. So you're clicking through a Snapchat story, you'll see people like David Dobrik, big YouTuber, quit YouTube just to focus on Snapchat. You're tapping through, an ad will pop up every like 5 seconds, and he makes money off that. And so people are making loads and loads of money. I'm in a group chat with a bunch of other creators, just talk about ways we can make money. And so definitely, if you want to start making money or just growing your brand, Snapchat's huge because 90% of 13 to 17-year-olds are on Snapchat, and so if that's your main audience. Definitely the app you want to be on.
So multiple platforms.
Yeah.
Like how do you, when you're going into the content, are you designating, hey, this one's for Insta, this one's for Snapchat, because you're very well researched with your age demographics.
Yeah. Sure.
I love that about everything about this interview. I mean, it's so profound. Like, talk to me a little bit, like, how do you cultivate the video, like create the video or the content, depending on the different type of platform?
Yeah. So usually we'll post like the same video across all platforms to start. If it's a basic basketball video that I'll throw on my TikTok or Instagram. So I'll create it there on TikTok, then repost it to every platform I'm on. But then there's videos, in terms of like UGC content where I'll find different memes or different videos, LeBron James and Team USA. I'll kind of repurpose those, post those to Threads and Snapchat. Those do very well on there. Don't really do that on Instagram or TikTok. And then Snapchat, I'm really just kind of, posting my day in the life. And so on my stories, you'll see me, working out, making dinner, playing Fortnite with my boys, or just, walking my dog. And so that's kind of targeted to see kind of what my day in the life is like, kind of like an insight, kind of get to know me of who I am. But my main videos that you'll see on my Instagram and TikTok, those will be posted across all my platforms.
Yeah. And one of the things that I love that you do, a lot of people feel like they have to, everything has to be this polished vlog. One of the things that you do really well is that you tap into pop culture and you find things that work well. One of the ones that really sticks out to me was a Taylor Swift video. I think it had 10 million views, and it was like a highlight reel put together of Taylor Swift playing basketball. Talk about that execution.
Yeah, came across some of those highlights, and I was like, dude, Taylor Swift is arguably the most famous person in the world right now. You got football season starting up. She was already all over TV, and so why not post some Taylor content? May get some hate because a lot of people don't like her. I'm a Taylor Swift fan. I'm all for it. And so
you're a Swiftie?
My girl. So I wasn't never a hater, but my girlfriend listened to her 24/7. I kind of got hooked now, and I will say I listened to her on my own, and so not a hater at all. But I mean, I know she's popping right now, of course, and so the video did really well, got a ton of views. And so I mean, I just knew it would kind of cause some controversy, some comments, but hey, it ended up working out well.
Very good, very good. Yeah, I travel the country and I do a lot of NIL talks, and one thing I noticed coast to coast, Taylor is super popular. I mean, it doesn't matter where I go, and I don't listen to Taylor myself. That's a hot take there, Jay. But
I have to tell you, I'm not incredibly shocked, but I appreciate that.
But I will hear a song and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, that's Taylor. All right. Okay. Yeah, I know her stuff, but
Yeah, I've noticed everything. So on Threads, I'm big on Threads right now. I post a lot on there, and I've noticed that like my own content doesn't do the best on Threads, and I've noticed talked to a lot of creators. It's about a lot about just kind of posting news, posting stuff that's happening. And so right now, Taylor Swift and then Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, anything about them will absolutely go viral. And so I'm getting 40 plus million views a month on Threads from just talking about those three, and they're absolutely killing it in the game. They're doing amazing. Angel and Caitlin have been great for women's basketball, and so it's really cool to see three women killing.
And you met Caitlin, right? Like you had the opportunity to actually interview her.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, I was able to go to the Final Four, interviewed a bunch of players, had a video go viral on pretty much every single platform of me giving Caitlin Clark a high five. She was about to start her practice, walking on through the tunnel. And I'm like, yo, hold up. I was with this girl named Becca. She kind of runs the whole Meta Sports partnership. Really cool. I'm like, I got to run over here. So I'm running over, got all the media people with their cameras. And I'm just kind of standing there, probably just with a giant smile on my face, put my hand out. And she gave like a little laugh and side-eyed me and then gave me a high five. And got like 10 plus million views across all my platforms. And I mean, pretty sick moment for sure.
I love it. You're giving a class, a master class here, because one of the things I feel like you do extremely well and brands need to do is tapping into the pop culture, as you said, and understanding like what really works. And I think you do a fabulous job. Like I follow you and you were the first person in my threads to post the Angel Reese injury notification. Her season was over. I think you took like a screenshot and shared it and just do a really good job of that. How do you stay on top of it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough, but I think Twitter is definitely the place that I get all my info from. I'm on Twitter all the time, scrolling through, probably a lot of football news happening right now with day one of NFL on Sunday. But really just kind of, being active on social media, really scrolling. I mean, a dream of mine would definitely be able to be a journalist. I had a really cool experience at the Final Four, just kind of hanging with all the media people. And so you definitely see me, that being a future for me. But just really being a fan of the game, trying to stay as active as I can on all my platforms, just kind of watching, being a fan.
Yeah, one of the things I have to ask you about is talk to me about understanding. You understand what works on the platforms, right? Like the culture of each. For example, on Snapchat, you use Spotlight, which a lot of people don't always utilize. And it looks like you're really consistent there. Talk to me about how you started that and what are the results that you're seeing 2 years later?
Yeah, I mean, Spotlight's crazy. I wish I got on it earlier because probably about 4 years ago.
Can you explain Spotlight? I'm gonna let you do that.
Yeah, so it's basically like Instagram Reels, TikTok, your TikTok For You page, but just on Snapchat. So if you go to the bottom right, there should be like a little play button. You click on that, and it'll be kind of like a For You page of just tons of different meme videos, creators videos. But about like 4 years ago, they were paying out creators $1 million a day on Spotlight. So creators like, oh, I had 400,000 views on my video. Snapchat paid me like $30,000, like numbers like that. And so if I was there like a year or two earlier, would definitely have some nice stuff for sure. But I mean, just really crazy. Just Snapchat Spotlight's all about just being consistent, overloading it with content. So I'm posting 20, 30 videos every single day if I can. A lot of it's, my own content, different basketball highlights. I'm using filters on there, playing games, doing different rankings of foods. So just kind of tapping into every type of content possible.
What I love about this, Jay, is I think it clearly comes across how authentic he is. And even his story about Caitlin Clark and the fanaticism to meet Caitlin, give her the high five. The authenticity for you, Connor, is just amazing. Like, how do you maintain this authenticity about yourself? And like, how do you transition that authenticity to make sure you're still having that great connection with people who are viewing your stuff?
Yeah. I mean, end of the day, I'm, even though I have a lot of followers, I'm a normal guy, right? Like I don't look at myself any different. And I was in many shoes of these kids when they were younger, just kind of looking up to different people. And so being able to get a message from a kid, like saying I'm an inspiration to them, I'm their idol is, the coolest thing to me. That's kind of like, one of my dreams in my life is being able to be an inspiration to people. And so just seeing that really keeps me going. And like, I love what I do, right? Every day, like, I love watching sports, love playing basketball, love entertaining people. And that just makes me happy. And, the way I've done it is being authentic, being true to myself. And that's working out, making me happy. And so that's what, keep doing that.
I like to throw oddball questions. If it wasn't basketball, what's your other sport?
So I was definitely, I focused on basketball starting in like 5th grade. It's kind of when I was like, all right, I'm gonna just do basketball. Ran like cross country for my school, wasn't for me. Was definitely best at baseball. I was a very, very good pitcher. But recently I played volleyball, did some like intramural volleyball in my senior year. Absolutely loved it. I mean, definitely my vertical helped with that. That was super fun. Won like the beach volleyball intramural championship in my school. So would definitely say volleyball for sure now.
All right.
I'm gonna jump in and say I just started playing pickleball. I played for the first time, and now I'm hooked.
We played every day at school. I mean, I was in California, so you got the beautiful weather, and we had a 20-person group chat just playing pickleball every day, and it's definitely fun.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. I lived in LA for a little while, and yes, the beach volleyball was definitely something I gravitated towards. I have not tried pickleball yet.
Got to try it. Got to try it. Maybe you have a pickleball deal. All right. So you've had over 180 deals on NIL. Speaking of sealing the deal, because that's what we're talking about, let's spotlight our sponsor, Influxer, our episode sponsor, who's revolutionizing NIL landscape, athletes and schools. Take note. Influxer isn't just about merchandise. They're pioneering a vibrant marketplace that connects student athletes with leading brands to maximizing their earnings. And you guys know I love earning. So imagine this. Your custom sportswear sold on your personalized webpage, direct partnerships with big brands, all managed by Influxer. They handle all the details so that you can focus on winning both on and off the field. Athletes looking to elevate their NIL game can connect with brands for deals quickly, efficiently. And you guys know I love efficiency through the Influxer app or website. They're already working with over 400 schools, empowering thousands of athletes to own their spotlight, monetize their talents. Want to learn more? Head over to influxermerch.com to see how they can help you and your program today. You guys know I love money, I love the bag, and I love content creation. Creating content, that resonates with their audience isn't just about the flashy visuals, right? I think sometimes we get caught up in really making things that are so polished, but it's also, as we talked about, understanding the pop culture and understanding the timing, as you were talking about earlier. Connor, you talked about how you stay on top of it and you're consistently able to create viral content. Talk to me about content maybe that you created and it didn't get the outcome that you wanted, but most importantly, what did you learn from that moment?
Yeah, I mean, with content, it's a lot of trial and error, right? There's definitely going to be videos that I post that may flop that you spend an hour editing on, but then I have a video right now. It's probably
I know about that, Connor.
Yeah, I have a video on TikTok right now. It's probably going to hit 1 million views, and it's a video of me dunking and then just a picture of like a hard math problem. But I have a ton of kids, 13 to 19 years old, that are commenting, and I'm like, all right, this is reaching their audience, and so that's kind of what's working right now. So it's definitely hard. There's times where you think a video is going to do great. Like I said, it doesn't do well, but the simplest of videos can do well. But really just trial and error, see what works. A lot of times I'll ask my audience, hey, what kind of videos do you want to see? Because like we said earlier, a lot of times people post content for them, but not for the people that are following them or who followed them in the first place. So really just kind of being honest with my audience, taking advice from them, and just kind of seeing what works.
So what exactly is that process? Like you just have a thought, you're like, oh, that'd be a cool idea. Are you jotting it down on paper or, different ideas, like how to film it? Like, or do you have somebody else like help you film? You got to give a shout out to one of your buddies here.
Yeah. So, I mean, creation ideas, a lot of it is inspiration from other creators too. I'm in a group chat with a bunch of basketball creators. We're kind of pushing ideas out to each other and then making it our own. There's times where I'm literally just sitting in bed at night for 20 minutes, just with my notes out thinking of stuff that I maybe think is funny, or, some education stuff that I want to provide to the younger audience. And so mixture of ideas, creation stuff. It's literally just my iPhone right here. I don't have a special camera. I have a $15 tripod off of Amazon. I did invest in a nicer mic recently, probably like a $200 Rode mic, but it's definitely a lot nicer than like a $10 one off Amazon. So it's pretty much myself. My brother, my girlfriend have helped me film some videos in the past, but a lot of it's just my tripod, my phone, going to the court and just doing what I love.
And let's talk about how often. I love the execution. I love talking about the details of that. How often are you publishing per platform? The reason why I constantly look at accounts, including brands, and they're saying, hey, Jay, I've got 300 views. I got 400 views. The algorithm doesn't like me. I'm like, bro, it's not the algorithm. You're not creating enough content for the opportunity.
Right. I try to post at least once a day across all my platforms. If I could get 3 on each platform, that'd be beautiful. There's times where I'm just busy, like I have been recently, and so I've definitely posted a little bit less. And there was a time where I was in Europe for about 2 weeks early in the summer. Tried not to post basketball content. Really just wanted to focus on, it was right after school, just kind of wanted to put my phone down, just focus on traveling to a place I've never been to before. And I noticed my followers dropped a little bit, views dropped a little bit once I started posting back. And so it's crazy what not being consistent can do to you. And so try to post at least 1 to 2 times a day and across all your platforms. It's definitely what you have to do. Just really be consistent. It's a grind, but if you want to be successful, you got to make it happen.
Yeah, and on that topic, I just have to ask you, how are you keeping up with things? I'm super fancy, and I use, Asana, which is a project-based, web-based system in the clouds. What are you using?
Yeah, in terms of editing?
Or it's editing, one, and then 2, how are you tracking all of your content? And I ask that because some people sit at home and they're saying, man, it sounds great. Connor, it's a cool story, bro. Yeah. But this is overwhelming to me. How do you track it and keep everything all the details together?
Yeah, editing, I just use TikTok, sometimes CapCut, but it's pretty much just TikTok the entire time. Just what I know, it's simple to me, nothing too crazy. Not spending money on the platform, it's free. And then keeping track, honestly, I probably could be a little bit better than that. I have maybe like 15,000 plus videos just in my camera roll. So definitely need to be better, but a lot of it's more just organizing my time. I really use Google Calendar, try and block out times for filming, for podcasts like this, for creation ideas, for downtime for myself. So really just asking for help from people, but then also using calendar to just block that up. But definitely do admit I probably could have be a little bit better with organizing like videos and scheduling posts, stuff like that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love how organized you are. You're very methodical about all of this.
Definitely.
From knowing your demographics to, just everything is very impressive.
Thank you. Appreciate that. It's honestly, a lot of people don't look at it as a difficult job. They may think posting content is easy, and I'm not saying it's the hardest job in the world. A lot of people try and say that, but I know it's not even close to the hardest job in the world, but still definitely difficult with trying to stay up to date with everything, coming up with ideas, filming. So it's definitely not easy. It's a grind, but just being as organized as possible definitely helps.
Yeah, let's talk real quick because you're talking about getting help and you're using, the Google Calendar. Did you find that organically on your own? And the reason why I ask is I think the thing that keeps people from creating content behind fear, the second thing is just not knowing. And a lot of people are scared to just throw their hands up and say, I don't know what's going on here. Did you go to some resources on campus or coaches or other content creators? Walk me through that. And the reason why I'm asking this is so that, influencers, people who want to be influencers, like giving them actionable tips.
For sure. Yeah. I struggled in the beginning, balancing academics. My school just got ranked by the Wall Street Journal as the 5th best school in the country. And so definitely not easy there. As a D3 basketball player, even though it's not D1, we're still spending 3-4 plus hours in the gym every single day. Then you have to, have homework. I want to spend time with my friends, have a social life, but then also be a creator. And so it was definitely struggling. My school, though, did have a thing called like success coaches. And there were probably 20 different students in the program who were just very successful on campus, knew what they were doing. 2 guys were actually basketball players. And so I asked them for help, work with one of them. And he just kind of gave me the best tips on how to really manage my time, gave me more resources, and he really broke down Google Calendar for me. And so every time something comes up, I'm putting it in my calendar, blocking that time out. Because I would just go about my day, really having no schedule for myself, just kind of, seeing what's next, seeing when I have time. But now I can really see like, all right, I have an hour in this time. I'm going to go eat dinner, then go work out. Or I have an hour here. I'm going to do some yoga, then do some filming after. So Google Calendar does help. But if it wasn't for the people that I asked for help for, I'm not sure if I would know much about it. So really just at your school, ask for help. There's a lot of resources out there and they all want to help you. So definitely don't be scared to speak up.
I love that you're taking advantage of the university resources because, one of the things I preach when I'm going around the country speaking at universities is take advantage of what your university, what your college has. Yeah. I got a random question though. Because I think there's a lot of D3, a lot of D2 student athletes who are out there who are thinking NIL, that's for big popular D1 student athletes. I'm sure you faced that question and you obviously just overcame it and dominated. That's easy to see. Yeah. And after just talking to you for a little bit, it's easy to see why you did, why you were able to overcome that. But as you started getting started with a lot of this, I'm sure you got those comments. Like, how did you respond? Did you just kind of put the blinders on and stay focused? What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, I was honestly the same way. I was like, all right, NIL is probably just for the Duke basketball player, the Alabama quarterback. But then once I really kind of came across these NIL marketplaces and started reaching out to brands myself, and I got some free shampoo, or Dwayne Wade sent me a free pair of shoes. I was like, all right, I can make something out of this. And so definitely a lot of comments. I mean, everybody's in my comments, DM saying D3's trash. Oh, you didn't play much basketball in college, or you're not a good basketball player. I'm probably better than everyone in my comments if I've got to be humble, but truthfully. And so definitely hard. Get those every day, get a lot of hate stuff, but really just blocking it out. I mean, they're spending their time commenting on my page, and so they're wasting their time. They can do it. End of the day, it really just doesn't affect me. And so sometimes funny, kind of want to argue back and forth with them, but I guess it's just helping me out in the long run.
True story, Jay. Yeah. Very first student athlete I ever worked with. Sat across the table from and explained the NCAA rules at the university, and he just popped his name, Dwayne Wade. That was how my career started.
And this is clearly at Marquette.
Yes,
it's a full circle moment here.
Now talking to Connor, here's Dwayne sending shoes. I love it.
Crazy, yeah. No, Wade's been great. They're huge creators, and so ton of basketball creators. You'll see reviews by Dwayne Wade shoes, and we're getting like 1 or 2 pairs every month, just trying them out, all new types of styles, like unreleased shoes. So I mean, really cool as a basketball player to just get free shoes every month. They didn't have to pay for shoes anymore. So definitely one of the big perks for sure.
Wow. I love it. By the way, athletes and coaches listening, we have something for you. Our NIL success checklist. Unlock your NIL success. It's the ultimate guide to maximizing your athletic brand, and you could get it for free. Keith, free. Money, nothing. Free. It's free. I love free. And you can get it by signing up for our email newsletter. Head over to our website, www.brandandathlete.com. Sign up, and it's a complete free guide on our full website with actionable tips and insights that we just went over. Like a lot of things we're talking about here are on the checklist.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious, Connor, because you've mentioned it a couple times, or you've alluded to it. I think some athlete creators and content creators, as they get into this, there is a little bit of that paranoia.
Yeah.
Where you are worried about what people say, what they do. You've done a good job blocking it out, and you mentioned it a couple times. Just, I'm sure it wasn't like that at first, where you let it get to you, and then how did you get to this place where you don't let it phase you?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely still hard here or there if people talk trash. I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to affect you no matter what. But I've really just learned to realize that these people do not matter. I look at in college, I was scared to post, but I'm like, all right, I've now graduated. I'm probably not going to see 95+% of these people in my life ever again in person. And so if they want to make fun of me or if they think different of me, that's great, but I'll never see them again. And so it's definitely not as easy as it sounds. But really just like, hey, you got one life. You're here on this earth. I'm young right now. We don't have a lot of time here. So why not just do what I want to do? Just take a chance at it. And if I fail, I fail. If someone makes fun of me, whatever. And so really just realizing, I don't have a lot of time here. Let me just take advantage of the opportunity I have now, and just go all in. And definitely hard sometimes, but I'm just working hard at it, and I'll be worth it.
Yeah, I love that, because as I was saying earlier, the biggest thing that keeps people from creating content is fear.
Yeah.
Right? Fear of hitting publish, and will anyone like it? Will people think it's the dumbest thing ever? And secondarily, that you alluded to, like just the peer pressure. And this is anyone from children up to people who are 60, 70 plus, because there's content creators in that space. Talk to us about what advice you have, specifically, because people look at you and say, hey, I mean, you've got, so many followers, 1 million plus over all of your accounts. For someone starting today who's worried about, man, what will people in the locker room think? What will my suite mates think in the dorm? Like, how do we just say, man, just forget all that? Like, what advice do you have?
Yeah, I think for me, something I realized is that I want to be around people that will help me succeed.
Say that again. Say that again.
The person you are is like who you surround yourself with. And so I definitely try to, make my circle of people that are successful, people that, motivate me, that push me to be the best person I am. And so if I have someone, one of my friends or teammates that, of course they'll make jokes here or there about it, and that's cool. But if there's someone that's really just hating on you, not supporting you, don't really want them in my life, right? They're not going to help me out. They're not going to push me to be the best person possible. And so really just surround yourself with those right people. Because if you do, then those are going to be your best friends, the ones that help you become successful. So I think for me, just being around the right people has definitely helped me get to where I am, for sure.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah. Jay, I'm loving everything about Connor. I mean, I think, Jay, you mentioned it there, that fear, that is the biggest obstacle for a lot of people, even like the fear of public speaking, you always hear about that being one of the greatest fears, and I think social media, that fear it's just that fear of putting yourself out there. But I think what Connor, he's done a good job building a circle around him and knowing where his resources are and thinking and, logically about this. And I think, just one observation here is you're approaching this content creation, the NIL space. You're thinking about it as a business person, as a CEO, and I think, sometimes as I talk with student athletes, they're not always thinking of it as from a business aspect, as the CEO of their own company. And I think you've clearly embraced that philosophy and like, everything from point A to, point Z, where you're transitioning to how to approach brands and, different aspects of that. That is phenomenal.
Definitely. No, thank you for that. And I guess for me, like I've had some internships, I've had some jobs before, but I realized like I don't want to have a boss, right? I may have one early on, but I want to be my own boss. I want to create my own career. I don't want to work the normal 9 to 5. And I'm young right now. I have this opportunity to take that chance. And so kind of looking at the opportunity I have right now, taking advantage of it and realizing like, hey, I can be successful. Social media, NIL consulting, influencer marketing. There's a lot of stuff that I can do by myself. Where I'm my own boss, that can definitely, make me some good money, where I'm able to travel, also have the freedom that I want. So definitely not just a little side gig for me. It's something I want to pursue as a full-time job, and hopefully we'll be there soon.
Yeah, one of the things that you touched on earlier that I absolutely love is that I believe that people are the results of their thoughts. Mm-hmm. Right. So talk to me about that. You talked about surrounding yourself. What other things are you doing? Because we know being on the platforms, creating a content does have an impact on our mental health and, our mood, right? The content and the things that we're consuming. How do you manage all of that?
Yeah, it's hard for sure. I think something right now I'm trying to do is I live in Connecticut. I've been blessed to, have an amazing family, grew up here, an amazing house, but I realize I'm happier and more creative in other spots. So right now I'm looking at, moving to LA or moving to Florida where, by the beach, it's sunny out. So just being in a great environment, I think for me is really what, gives me the best creation. And so definitely want to be somewhere that's an amazing spot to live, where I'm happy, and then around like-minded people. If I'm around people that are outside every day, active, healthy, that's going to really get me in a great mood, make me want to create more, make me want to be outside more and more active. And so really just trying to be, put myself in the best position possible to where I'm going to succeed and be the happiest, because mental health is huge. Definitely times where I'm sad, I'm in my bed, not wanting to go work out or create content. But really just putting myself in the best place possible, surrounding myself with the best people possible is what makes me the happiest. And so definitely going to try and focus on that and get myself to a great spot.
I love it. Do you have things that you do on a daily, like things that you consume or look at, or like, for example, one of the things I do, I have a YouTube playlist that I have, and I play it. It plays on my AI system for me, and it starts me out with like positive affirmations. It actually says, "Hi, Jay, you're the best ever," and it really does. It's a positive. You have to believe it. I used AI to help me write this, guys. I see the looks on your faces, but it gets me off to a great start. And one of the things I learned specifically working in sports is that, like, if you don't start off with a positive mindset and secondarily focused on what you want to do, you'll spend all day helping other people realize their dreams.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I look at today, I had a great morning. I woke up, had breakfast, got out of bed right away. A lot of times I will get caught just laying in bed on my phone, and even you do that for 20 minutes, it can have an entire effect on your day. So got up, had a good breakfast. My dad and I went on a bike ride on a nice trail. Then we got some food, took my dogs on a walk, and by then it was 11 o'clock and I had a great morning. Like I feel great right now. And my mood is as high as it can be just because, you get a great start to your morning. So I totally see what you're saying there. Just the way you start your day can have an entire effect on how your entire day goes.
Yeah, I don't have the same YouTube affirmations in the morning, but I love hearing about how Jay gets his day started. It's always very inspiring to me.
Well, I will say, it's so funny. There's this thing going around. I like to get right into things. I don't know if you guys watch it, but all over the internet, it's funny. Like after content creators become really huge and they have huge followings, they start all these morning routines like cold plunges, and nothing wrong with that. I'm definitely not, throwing any shade there. But I think for people getting started, like the best thing you can do in the morning is just to get after it and to get rolling.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to get sunlight too in the morning. I think that just wakes me up, puts me in a good mood. But yeah, it's definitely easy to lay in bed, sit on your phone, and then go downstairs, have some breakfast, throw on the TV, then you get caught watching an episode or something. But yeah, just really just wake up, get after it, like you said.
I've been impressed with how you juggle everything here. You don't seem to let this stuff overwhelm you. You've been able to juggle a lot of different things. Now you've graduated. You're still juggling things. You're still planning ahead. How do you not let it all be overwhelming?
For sure. Yeah, I'm not going to be here and say it definitely doesn't overwhelm me sometimes. For sure, I'm very stressed out. But it's my parents have really helped me, put me into a great spot. They've helped me a lot. They've been able to provide me with a top-notch education. Went to private school my entire life. Was very blessed there. Went to 2 top prep schools that are ranked like the top 10 in the world. So, and of course, gone to amazing college and very blessed and thankful for that. Like I'm definitely recognize the position I'm in, and I'm very grateful for that. And so I think the education that I was given was definitely huge. And then there's the support and mentorship from my parents definitely helped me out. And I definitely do recognize that I definitely am overwhelmed and stressed at times. But just try and take a step back. If I need to put my phone down, that's a great thing. But really just grateful for the opportunity and the people that I do have around me.
Yeah, I've really been looking forward to this conversation. I was just listening to you talk and I was looking at you. And I was like, man, he has a GOAT necklace on, right? I'm like, are we talking to the GOAT of NIL? 180 plus deals.
This is actually an NIL deal, Shop GLD, big jewelry brand. They just sent me a ton of jewelry. And so felt like I had to pull it out today. Yeah.
Let's go. Why not?
He mentioned LeBron earlier. So, I grew up born and raised in the Chicago area. So, of course, the MJ versus LeBron debate, and I'm seeing the GOAT necklace, so I'm wondering, okay, is he on team LeBron there with that argument? I won't get us start, going on that.
Hey, he's got awards.
Unless you've got a strong opinion.
He's got receipts. He's won awards.
I'm LeBron just because I've grown up watching LeBron my whole life, and so it's definitely hard for me to go against Jordan. I mean, I watched The Last Dance and was definitely, I guess right after that I was like, all right, Jordan's the GOAT. But I think just because of LeBron, how he's almost 40 years old, the way he's dominating now, like we saw in the Olympics, I don't think anybody's ever done that. And so maybe if I grew up in the Jordan era, I would probably say Jordan. But I think just because I've seen LeBron so much is why I say LeBron.
Yeah. One thing about this show, we want to really use this as creating incredible value for our listeners who are listening on podcasts, those who are on YouTube, and want to talk to you a little bit about your content, right? Talking about GOAT type things. And you and I talked a little bit about your YouTube content. You've really mastered Snapchat. You really have a strong presence on Instagram, not just on the normal reels. You do really well with the stories. You're also on Threads as an early adopter. Want to talk to you about your YouTube long form and wondering, I'm thinking it might be cool for you to flirt with long form content.
Yeah. That's honestly the goal for me, would be able to be a YouTube creator. I know that's where the money's at for sure. I think something that I have a dream of is traveling the country and giving fans a behind the scenes look of what college basketball is like. So if I was able to go to Duke, do a facility tour, do a little interview with the players and the coaches, and turn that into a YouTube video, and travel the country doing that. That's definitely my dream. And so we'll hopefully be able to do that soon in the next couple of months, maybe have a couple facility tours up. But yeah, I definitely want to start doing some long form, maybe start off, even if it's a 3-minute video, just starting off, trying it out, and then hopefully just building it from there.
What facilities, off the rip, what facilities are on your dream list?
Jeez, so I grew up a UConn fan, just being from Connecticut. I've been able to see all the facilities. I went to a camp there, so I was able to be a player for a week, it seemed like. And so, but still would love to give fans that. I think Duke is very cool. I was able to sneak into Cameron Indoor one time. I was down there and we got on the court. And so that was crazy. But
how did that happen? You have to walk us through that.
Yeah, we were driving down to Charlotte for an AAU tournament. Realized we were driving by like the Raleigh-Durham area. So pulled up and the door was open to just like the little museum they have there. It's like a Duke basketball museum. Noticed that there was like a volleyball camp going on, and so there was already some open doors. And so me, my boy, my brother, we snuck down there. The camp ended up getting out, and the arena was just completely empty. There was a basketball sitting in the corner, and so we're just sitting there. Probably have 100-something plus photos on my phone of just me standing on the court. But I mean, as a Duke fan, and just even as a basketball fan overall, being able to play a camera and just shooting the hoop was crazy.
Yeah, I love it. And digging a little further, right, into your long form, right? Like let's just walk through it right now. Kind of a coaching session in real time with Keith and I. I believe there is a huge opportunity for people to talk about, and instead of maybe watching 4 hours a night of friends, like creating content around that, whatever your interest are, if it's coffee, if it's fishing, if it's space exploration, if it's praying, the things that you like. So let's walk through that. And the reason why I love it, you do a great job. You do training videos, and I think adding in your personal element on YouTube is so huge, right? So that people aren't just like searching, like, how do I increase my vert? And then they never come back. Right. But let's walk through, if we had 4 content pillars of things that you're genuinely interested in, what would they be? What would those 4 things be outside of basketball?
Outside of basketball.
Well, let's just make basketball as one of them. How about that? I'm writing this down, guys. I'm writing this as we go. This is his content plan. We're going to create one on the fly.
Yeah, I think travel for sure. So that's kind of why I did for a cool long form, be able to kind of combine travel and basketball together.
Like, where would you go? Like, what specific, right? Because we know, like, travel is so, is this like we talked to Ben Chase at the University of Florida, and he went around to like 75 different athletic events in this white caravan. Keith and I talked to him. Like, how was your travel style? What does that look like?
Geez, yeah, I don't. That's the thing. I don't know if I'd be able to do the van and just leave in that. We'll see. I don't know.
But where are you flying? Are you driving? I mean, like, how would you get around?
Yeah, I guess flights would be ideal, but I mean, that's definitely a lot of money. So I guess driving around the country on a road trip would definitely be the coolest thing. I definitely think it'd be a nice little series. So definitely could be something I explore.
Okay. So we have basketball. Keith, jump in here. Road trip.
Yeah. I'm wondering, like, how much luggage are you packing? All the details there.
I'm honestly a simple guy. I wear the same Nike slides every day. I've probably worn them. I got those for Christmas. I've been wearing those every day for the past 8 months. So don't need too many shoes. I usually just wear like a Nike t-shirt and basketball shorts. Like I'm definitely not a dripped out guy, if you call it that. And so honestly, pretty simple for me. A couple pairs of shorts, a couple shirts, nothing too crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you taking a bag in, or is it everything carry on?
I'll carry on for sure. Never check the bag. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I love it.
Yeah. Can't be waiting.
Yeah. Time is money. Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess what are the things you already like? Talk to me about things you're already doing. Like, what other interests do you have? Do you like food? Are you like Dave Portner from Barstool, and you love pizza? I mean, like, what are your hobbies and interests?
Yeah, I love food. My dad is the CEO of the number one pizza company in the country called Frank Pepe Pizza.
What's the name of it?
Frank Pepe Pizzeria. And so it's in New Haven, Connecticut. But they're actually having a pizza fest called the One Bite Pizza Fest with Barstool and Dave Portnoy next weekend in New York City. So it's probably
like, can't make this up. I literally, just so you guys know, I had no idea of this connection. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So yeah, there's probably 35. I think there's 35 pizzerias that are all in like Dave's top 50 pizzas that he's rated. We'll be there in New York City on Randall's Island next weekend, and so I'll be out there trying. Pizza's my favorite food. Pizza and ice cream, 2 favorite foods. So I think I can do some content out there for sure, just trying out every single pizza, and definitely excited for that. Hopefully meet Dave. Maybe get hired by Barstool.
You gotta reach out to him, man. Like hang him on
or something. Yeah.
Because he's really cool. I mean, he's blog. Everybody knows. For those who don't follow him, he's on social media as the founder of Barstool Sports, and he does this thing, the one bite test, right? It's like one bite. He goes all over. Matter of fact, I've used his list. I found like one of the top places in Brooklyn, following Dave. So just a little background there on Dave Portner. So, all right, so food and potentially pizza, because you've got this, like, how would you do yours? He does the 1-bite test. What would be yours? And he also looks at the crust. He's big on the crust.
The crust is huge. I think for me, I've learned you want to look at the bottom as well. Like New Haven style is coal fired. And so,
like, what is New Haven? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar. So put me on some game.
So New Haven's a town or city in Connecticut, and it's arguably known around the country in the pizza world as the best pizza city. There's a famous street there called Worcester Street, which is where Pepe's is. There's another one called Sally's. So it's a bunch of coal-fired pizza places in New Haven. Dave has rated it as the best pizza city in the world. And so definitely been blessed to be able to be around top-notch pizza. But I guess I would look at, I need thin and crispy is what I go for. The sauce is probably the biggest thing for me. But I think next weekend will be very cool to be able to kind of try out, I guess what you could say, all the top pizzas in the country and see how they stack up against each other.
Jay, you don't know this about me, but I am a pizza connoisseur. So, like, as a month, here we go, Jay. You ready? Buckle up on this one. Okay. So, as I'm traveling around the country, if I know I'm going to be in a different city, speaking at a couple places, first night I order in from whatever the local pizza joint is, and there I am in the hotel. I got my little containers for leftovers. I got it for breakfast. I got it for lunch. But learning all these different styles across the country is great. And so my latest kick is Detroit style crust.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I've never tried it. I heard it's good. But I mean, it's great. You have dough, sauce, and cheese, but it's like, it's so simple, but there's so many variations. There's so many places that could honestly mess it up and not make it good at all. And, but I do want to try Detroit for sure.
You know what? I'm just thinking here. This is just riffing here. I wonder if it would be great content for you, especially because of your background and affiliation with pizza. Maybe if you could actually make a connection with some of these pizza places and actually go in and learn how to make the pizza and then have people rate your pizza.
That'd be
like
cool.
A day in the life of I'm a former college basketball player, washed up. I'm just using a little hyperbole. Washed up former D1 athlete. On my quest to make the best pizza in the world.
Right. That could be cool. Honestly, I would love to do that. Sure.
There it is. And you've got this Rode mic. He told us earlier, you got this Rode mic. You've got your phone. Let's go. You have a $15 deal. All right, we're going to jump on a call after this. We're going to make this thing happen. All right, so I got to keep it moving. I am the #1 distractor in the history of the world, Keith will tell you, Connor. All right, so we have basketball. We've got travel. You going around to these different venues, maybe some of the iconic places that you've really looked up to, like have you been to KU and places like that? And then food, maybe looking at different styles, exploring, don't forget St. Louis style from St. Louis. If I don't mention this, I'm going to get some.
I've heard Tatum say that is the best.
All right. So then what is something else? Do you have a show? Do you have anything, other hobbies that you naturally, organically do? Like, for example, Keith is big into fisherman. You can't see on the other side of his camera. He's got 200 plus rods and he fished every day for 1,000 days. And I love this and space exploration. And what else do you like?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I like video games with my boys. That's when I say how I stay connected. I think something I do like, my dad and I do, my family and I do a lot, is frisbee golf. I'm not the best at it, like disc golf. We have a course by here. I was in Colorado recently, and we did it at the top of called Aspen Mountain in Colorado. And so I thought that's actually a very cool, something I do want to explore a little bit more. You're outside, you're in nature, but it's a little kind of a cool sport to really just check out, and it's fun, it's competitive, and so maybe odd sports like that, like disc golf, pickleball, beach volleyball. So just trying out different sports that the normal person may not play.
Man, you know what? I like that. Maybe that's a series. You just came up with it. Maybe it's you as a former elite D3 athlete and GOAT of NIL and storytelling and content creation, trying out other sports, right? Maybe you can make connections while you're traveling and say, hey, I'm going to be in Ohio. I'm going to call up the Ohio State soccer team or volleyball and then try their sport for a day, but don't do any practicing. So it's really authentic, maybe you've done something because you're an athlete. So I know you've probably done every sport there is, but maybe you haven't spiked the ball.
Right, exactly. Right? There's a girl at UNC, plays on the basketball team. I think her name's Alyssa Utsby. She's a recruiter. But she did a series that she talked about as well, where she just went around to like every UNC team and tried out their sport. And I thought it was cool because, I mean, athletes are, they're friendly together, but you really don't see them trying out other sports since they're, so focused on their own. And so just trying out different sports, seeing what she's good at, what she's not, was definitely cool and something I could definitely want to try out.
And the thing that I love about that is, do you ever remember the show Dirty Jobs with, I think, Mike Rowe?
I know the names. I haven't. I don't remember watching them.
Okay, so real story. Keith and I, these are one of our favorite shows. Is he basically went around and did all these random jobs, like milking a cow, like all these, like cleaning out, like those porta potties, and doing all the specific jobs. Right now, you won't do those jobs, but maybe finding even extreme sports like curling and different things that like would be really cool. I'm just thinking here that are engaging. And then trying those things out and competing, like trying them and then competing against the people who do them.
Right. I don't know if it was her, but there was someone that did like a video with like the fencers on the fencing team. And I mean, like as an athlete, I think I'm a good athlete, right? I think I can compete for sure. But then you see these fencers who may not look like the top athletes that are just nasty at what they do. So I think it's pretty cool just to see all these different sports that you may not normally watch on TV and just trying it out.
Jay, I need to go off the script just a little bit.
Go off script.
I'm going off script because I think Connor is a perfect person for me to ask this question.
Yeah.
A lot of times when I'm working with student athletes, and as I'm working with some of the businesses too, the failure to execute and make sure the customer, the business, is happy.
Right.
Once the deal is done. You've obviously done a good job because you're 180 NIL deals in. So the word on the street is you execute, you deliver, you're doing a good job with that. How do you go about making sure the customer is happy? And I think that is something not every student athlete is understanding as they approach NIL. And one thing that I like to tell student athletes is, that when they are first entering this space, the money is not in the first deal you get. The money is in the second, the third. It's the other deals that as you continue to build up, and you've done a fantastic job. But how do you make sure you've executed and the customer's happy?
Yeah. I think first of all, right away, if I'm making a shoe review, let's say, once I get that shoe, I try and make the video right away, so I have adequate time to speak with the brand. I have enough time to edit the video. So really just kind of making sure I'm on time, not trying to do the video the night before the deadline that I haven't submitted, then I don't really have much time to have that video edited. So getting the video done right away, communicating with the brand, and really just kind of implementing it into my content. A lot of times when I did brand deals, like early on in my career, it would just kind of see basketball video, and then me video sitting on my couch talking about a beverage or something. And it just wouldn't do well because it didn't go with my content, didn't go with what my followers knew. So now I really try to implement my brand deals right into the content that I'm already posting, whether that's a basketball workout, a post-game routine. I do like different challenges and quiz videos. So I'm trying to implement brand deals into there. So it doesn't look like it just stands out from everything else. And the brand definitely notice it does better there. And then if it does well, that's kind of what turns into the long-term partnerships. They're definitely kind of what you want more than just a little one-off brand deal.
Yeah. Talk to the other student athletes that are out here watching this right now. Like, should they be picking up the phone and calling the brand after that you send them the video? Hey, what do you think? And if the brand comes back and says, we didn't like it, don't let your feelings get hurt, type of thing, and hit the drawing board again. I mean, give some advice to those student athletes that are entering this space.
Yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, just really be communicating with the brand as much as possible. You want them to be very, very happy at the end of the day, because that'll hopefully lead to another deal, which is more money in your pocket, right? Which is good for everyone. And so definitely going to take some time. The video might not be the best right away. But look, it's not you're not making $15 here or there just to post. Like I can go edit a video, film it in under an hour, and I'm getting some good money. And so it's definitely worth it in the long run, because you can really build a strong relationship with the brand. And if a brand wants you to edit the video, then just do it, right? It's definitely going to be worth it. And so maybe a little annoying here or there if a brand tells you to keep editing it. But it's going to be worth it for you. If the video comes out perfect, brand will want to work with you more in the future.
Yeah, I absolutely love it because you really nailed the influencer marketing angle. I think one of the great things is creating content, as you outlined, that are organic and natural to what you're doing. Oftentimes you'll see a brand send out a creative brief, which is just a one pager or two maybe, that describes what the execution is. And, I've worked with influencers, and a lot of times when you work with them in the way that they authentically storytell, it works better. It's so much more natural. And I think that's one of the great things, one, about creating content. What works, you know what doesn't work, right? Like then the content creator, you can say, hey, I really love that, so tell me what you want to achieve. They tell you that, and you say, okay, well, I'm maybe it's a content creator, for example, who's normally behind the scenes, right? It's a vlog where they're not showing their face, but what happens is then you can tell the brand and say, hey, you know what? Let me do this. I normally make the video this way. These are the metrics that have really performed well, and I'd love to create it and then do a voiceover. And I think this will really play well. And here's why.
Right. Yeah. And I think for me too, there's definitely a hard time where brands could definitely be a little bit better, where I'll try to communicate, and then the brands will take 3-4 days to get back to you, and then another week to get back to you. And so I think if the student athlete's going to put in a lot of work, the brand needs to kind of be reciprocative as well. We want it to be a mutually beneficial partnership. And so really just having everybody be communicative on both ends, I think is huge.
Yeah, I think that's so, because like Keith was saying, the second, third, and fourth one, that's so huge. I really love it. And, I think one of the things is we kind of wrap here. I want to talk about this really quickly. I could tell just from looking at your content that your emotional intelligence is high. And what I mean by that is understanding how the consumer will receive the content. And I think that is one of the reasons why you're so successful, along with your work ethic and your strategies and really maintaining your mental health throughout this process, is that you're really thinking about, like, not just who is my audience, but how is this going? How are they going to receive this information?
Right. Yeah. I think like today I've been working on a video. I just partnered with an electric scooter brand. So it's got a big, nice electric scooter sense, something I've been wanting for a while. And I could just sit there outside and talk about the features, or just do like an unboxing video. That's just not my content. And so we're trying to craft up like a skit of, my boys calling me to come play basketball. Like, oh, I can't get there. I need to be there in 5 minutes. What can get me there? And then I pull up out of my garage with like you see me rolling, like that kind of song with my scooter, where it's funny, but also shows that, like, hey, this scooter can get you places. And hopefully my audience laughs. But just really trying to be creative, be a little bit different, but just have videos that go right with my content, where the consumer may laugh and hopefully want to buy the scooter.
Wow, he got me on the song flashback there.
Yeah,
I know. I haven't heard that in a while, and then it just came.
Hey, another song for you, Brett B. Remember the Mike Jones? You didn't know me, but now you're all up on me. He's from Houston. It's like a 10-year-old rap song. It's a great. You gotta add this one, because it's your story. It's like basically Mike Jones. He said, "What's my name, Mike Jones?" Because back in the day, before he was big, nobody wanted to mess with him. Right? He didn't have the swag. He didn't have the goat necklace like you have now. And so the story is about, you didn't know me, but now you're all up on me. That's
got it. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. Mike Jones, you said?
Yeah. I'll DM it to you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. So here's one of the things as we wrap up, and, we have, not only did we get some great actionable insights, and I'll let Keith, jump in here after this, is, you also have, the flirtings of some long form content. We've got your 4 pillars. We can work offline. We've got basketball, travel, foodie, and, you exploring new sports options. I would love to see you continue to grow, because I think as student athletes look at you, and anyone, it does not matter. It's like, if you're a realtor, right? Like, sure, you can get on there and do some dance videos, and, that's cool. I'm not saying don't do that. But being an interesting person is something that really plays well.
Definitely. I think Sorry, go ahead.
No, you got it, Connor. Go for it.
Yeah. I mean, I think being an interesting person is huge. Really, just, at the end of the day, I'm more of a quiet guy, right? I'm not the one at the parties jumping up and down, but I do have a good personality, I believe, and so really just showing that personality out there, just kind of putting your whole self forward, I think is huge at this whole content space.
Yeah. And I think those other parts, those 4 content pillars in the long form will show even further, right? Like the emotional connection. Keith and I always talk about what's a brand. It's a emotional connection to a person, place, or thing. And I think that will help even further. Cause I love your comedy is hilarious. Like I love the math problems. I mean, you have me checking out like algebra, I'm going back to the 7th grade on some of your content. Which is, I love, because that's your audience, right? Your audience are in that range.
Right. And they're loving it. I mean, I spent probably 2 minutes honestly editing that video, and I probably got 10,000 plus comments and about 1 million views. So it's crazy. But I mean, people are just starting school now. They're testing out their math skills, seeing if they forgot some stuff over the summer. But I guess it's working out.
You're authentic. You're real. You're funny. You've got your values in place it's perfect. And I'll go ahead and close this out here, Jay. I do want to say thank you, Connor. This has been great. You're dropping great insight all over the board here. You've been great to talk with. And if our paths cross when I'm on the road, I might let you talk me into doing a little one-on-one. You can dunk all over me. Show you still got some skills, okay?
I want to see that content.
Yeah, I say let, and I'm using the air quotes.
Yeah, because he's dunking on professional players, just so we're clear.
Yeah, but I want to thank Influxer again, for being our sponsor for this episode. And if you are an athlete, you are an administrator, and you want to elevate your NIL game, check out influxermerch.com, and their team will get you going. So.
Yep. Connor, you've been amazing, man. I'm so really, appreciative of this conversation, you taking us through, and hopefully we added a little bit of value as well with what you're doing. And so thank you for tuning in to Brand&Athlete. We'll see you next time. Are you going to come back? Because I feel like we did not cover everything we could today.
Yeah. I felt like there's a lot of good stories we could have really heard about here.
For sure. No, it was definitely a lot. Been a crazy 2 years, but I appreciate you guys. It means a lot to be on here. It was an awesome experience.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in and to Brand&Athlete. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you like the deep dives like the one here today, you know what? Hit the subscribe. Follow us on this journey all over social media. Connor, thank you so much, man. And the best of luck to you. 200, we want to see it at 1,000. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Be the story.